My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful idiosyncrasies. She used to fart in her sleep.
In The Dark Knight, the hospital explosion scene had a technical malfunction. The explosives were supposed to blow immediately, but there was a delay. Heath Ledger, fully committed as the Joker, fumbled with the detonator and looked genuinely confused. That awkward pause before the massive explosion, a complete accident. But it was so perfectly in character that Christopher Nolan kept it in The Dark Knight, turning a blooper into brilliance. Midnight Cowboy's most famous moment was a real accident. They were filming without permits on actual New York streets when a taxi nearly hit Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight. Hoffman stayed in character and shouted at the cab driver. That raw, angry, "I'm walking here," wasn't acting. It was genuine New York frustration in Midnight Cowboy that felt too authentic to cut.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
And on the waterfront, Eva Marie Saint accidentally dropped her glove during the iconic taxi scene. Marlon Brando picked it up and just kept going with the scene, playing with it absent-mindedly. Director Elia Kazan realized the glove added unexpected vulnerability and intimacy to the moment in On the Waterfront, so he never yelled "cut." The chest-thumping ritual in The Wolf of Wall Street started as Matthew McConaughey's private pre-take warm-up. Leonardo DiCaprio spotted him doing it and asked if he'd do it on camera. McConaughey agreed, assuming Scorsese would cut it in editing. Instead, it became his character's signature move in The Wolf of Wall Street, and DiCaprio even copies it later in the film. Robin Williams completely improvised the fart story in Good Will Hunting. The script called for something personal and sad, but Williams went full comedy instead.
My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful idiosyncrasies. She used to fart in her sleep.
In Zoolander, Ben Stiller genuinely forgot his line after asking, "But why male models?" So he just asked it again.
You'll find that he sold his soul to the devil for a shot at the big time.
But why male models?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
That accidental repetition in Zoolander perfectly captured Derek Zoolander's stupidity, and they kept the blooper. Tom Cruise's iconic underwear slide in Risky Business wasn't choreographed. The script just said he dances around the house. Cruise spontaneously decided to slide across the floor, and director Paul Brickman loved it so much he rebuilt the entire Risky Business sequence around that one blooper moment. The cat Marlon Brando holds in The Godfather's opening scene was a stray he found wandering the set. He just picked it up and started petting it during filming. The cat purred so loudly, it interfered with the sound recording. They had to redub some dialogue in The Godfather, but Coppola kept the blooper because it humanized Vito Corleone perfectly. Leonardo DiCaprio genuinely sliced his hand open in Django Unchained.
Hey! Lay your palm flat on that tabletop! If you lift those palms off that turtle shell tabletop...
When he smashed the glass during the dinner scene, he never broke character, even wiping his real blood on Kerry Washington's face. Tarantino was so impressed by DiCaprio's commitment in Django Unchained that he kept filming. They added fake blood for safety later, but that take was too intense to cut. The orgasm scene in When Harry Met Sally went way beyond the script. Meg Ryan suggested she actually fake an orgasm in the crowded restaurant to prove her point. Director Rob Reiner loved the idea and let her perform. The older woman who delivers "I'll have what she's having" in When Harry Met Sally is actually Reiner's real mother, who ad-libbed the perfect response.
Oh God! Oh, yes! Yes!
Viggo Mortensen broke 2 toes kicking that helmet in The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. When Aragorn screams after finding the burned orc pile, that's not acting, that's real pain. He actually broke his toes on that kick in The Two Towers, but Peter Jackson kept the take because the anguish felt devastatingly authentic. Rutger Hauer rewrote his final speech in Blade Runner the night before shooting. The original script was longer and less poetic. Hauer condensed it and added "like tears in rain" on his own. When Ridley Scott heard it in Blade Runner, he knew immediately it was perfect. That blooper rewrite became one of science fiction's most beautiful moments.
Like tears in rain.
Jim Carrey's most annoying sound in the world in Dumb and Dumber was completely improvised. The script just said, Lloyd annoys Harry in the car. Carrey made up that ear-piercing shriek on the spot in Dumb and Dumber. Jeff Daniels' visible irritation isn't acting. He was genuinely annoyed, which made it even funnier.
You're it. You're it. You're it. Quincy's! Any Quincy's. You're it. Quincy's. No, any Quincy's. No start.
In Saving Private Ryan, the heated argument about the German prisoner wasn't fully scripted. Spielberg gave them the moral dilemma and let them naturally debate. The overlapping dialogue and genuine anger in Saving Private Ryan feel real because the actors were actually arguing about the right choice, not following a script.
That's what you think. Come on. No. Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins' creepy slurping sound after fava beans and a nice Chianti in The Silence of the Lambs wasn't written. Hopkins added it spontaneously to unsettle Jodie Foster. Her disturbed reaction is genuine. Jonathan Demme kept that blooper in The Silence of the Lambs because it made Hannibal Lecter infinitely more terrifying.
Test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
The epic news team battle in Anchorman was mostly improvised chaos. The script had the basic setup, but the actors made up their weapons and dialogue.
Didn't it? Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that.
Were all spontaneous bloopers that were too funny to cut. Robert De Niro's "You talking to me?" mirror scene in Taxi Driver wasn't scripted. Scorsese just told him, Travis talks to himself. De Niro improvised that entire iconic moment in Taxi Driver. What started as a blooper became one of cinema's most quoted scenes.
You talking to me? Well, who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
In Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio improvised Jack's dinner conversation about Freud. He decided Jack would fake knowledge about things he didn't understand, and Kate Winslet played along naturally. Their chemistry in Titanic turned a blooper into a charming, spontaneous moment.
All life is a game of luck.
A real man makes his own luck, Archie. Right, Dawson?
Bruce Willis ad-libbed much of John McClane's vest conversation in Die Hard. Those frustrated mumblings to himself made McClane feel like a real exhausted cop in Die Hard, not just an action hero. The blooper added unexpected humanity.
Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs.
R. Lee Ermey's entire performance in Full Metal Jacket started as a blooper reel. Kubrick hired him as a military advisor, but Ermey recorded himself improvising insults for hours. Kubrick was so blown away, he rewrote the entire role for Full Metal Jacket and let Ermey ad-lib almost everything. Those weren't scripted insults. They were spontaneous drill sergeant fury.